Okay, okay, so I'm gonna show you guys some stuff on number 16, the slotted cam. Kind of want to show you some of this stuff because now I think most of us have gotten the geometry and the basics down of measuring and locating points, and now we're kind of jumping into the portion of board drafting where it's about technique. So I want to show you some techniques on here. I've already gone through and copy mine. I've centered, um, got all my measurements for centering, and then I've gone ahead and I've laid it all out. It might be tough to see, but I have this thing perfectly centered on here. I found the exact middle, and then I put these two 30-degree lines on here because that's where these slots in this cam gasket's going to go. So once you have all of this on here laid out, probably the first thing that I do, you can either work your way in and from the inside and work your way out. I like to start with the outside circle first because it's kind of big. So once you have your size, you're going to use a compass for this, and you're going to want to get your compass to the exact size that you need it to be. Now you can take it and measure it out on here and adjust the size of your compass to that, or you can use a scale to get that on there. The one thing you want to be sure you have is you want to have a sharp point on the end of your compass, and you want these to be parallel with one another. You don't want one sticking down farther than the other. If it's not sharp, you can bring it up to me and I'll sharpen it, but you can use one of these sanding pads to get one sharp edge on that lead point. So once you do that, you use your exact center, line up your compass, and draw the outside. Put some pressure on the front, and it's usually easiest if you hold this down on an angle and drag this around. Okay, sometimes take some practice. You're more than welcome to grab a scrap sheet of paper and practice on a scrap sheet before you commit to anything. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this next circle right here, which actually isn't going to be drawn. It's 3.5 inches in diameter, but we're going to use that for the center lines of all these little slots. So I'm going to take this one. You probably can't see, but I've actually marked it on my paper. The radius of it, all the way right there, you can probably see a little tiny mark that I have right there. That's what I used. So I'm going to line up my compass again to the center. You guys have drawing pads underneath, so your compass probably shouldn't slip. And then very lightly, because that line's going to get erased, go around and draw that line. For your interior circle, this one, I would use a circle template because it gives you the 1 5/8 diameter. These larger circles, you're probably going to want to use a compass. I do know that the circle template gives you a little bit cleaner of a circle. So if we go and we find our 1 5/8 diameter isn't on this one. We only go 1 3/8. This one, we've got one. So our 1 5/8 is over here. This one has the dots. I'm not a huge fan of the dots. I like the actual marks that are on there, but this will get us the same spot. You can also use a compass if you're more comfortable using compass. Remember, hold the pencil straight up. Kind of demonstrated this on one of the other videos. So there's that circle. We have kind of like a bullseye looking thing. Now, I've got my centers where these lines, these 3-degree lines, intersected right here on this this 3 1/2 inch diameter. So I'm going to draw one of these slots for you. Now, we know the size of this arc that's in here. It's 3/4 because it's the exact same size of the slot in this cam gasket. So if I find my 3/4 of an inch circle right here, I'm going to line up those dots to this point, and this point. You can also use the compass to do this. It's a little bit tricky because it's a smaller circle. But what you're going to do is line up that one, so I'm lining up this dot, and this dot. I actually don't like our dots. I'm going to switch and go the slashes. I like the slashes better. Strictly personal preference. But I'm going where they hit that arc that or that circle that I drew. I'm lining it up here, I'm lining it up over there, and this arc's going to come down. That far. Now they're going to go back on that angle as well to create the slot. So it's going to be parallel to this line, that the center mark that I made there. Okay. Then we just repeat the process, do some erasing, and repeat the process on all these other ones here. And that's kind of how you do the slide cam. You'll have to do some erasing, but that's how that ends up.